Hello and welcome to Tomorrow's You. So yesterday was World Mental Health Day. Surprising really that we actually need a World Mental Health Day. But I also work in the NHS in the UK, and so I appreciate just how many people are affected by mental health, and I was also one of those people. So just want to share my story with you and then the insights that I have gained from that. Are you suffering with mental health? Many people that are suffering with low moods, low motivation, or being really anxious about the coming day, and trying to have everything under control, and there's a constant emotion going on, which can be difficult to deal with because it can sometimes be quite uncomfortable. And often what happens, and definitely in my case, is because it's so uncomfortable, is then actually trying to do something to distract away from it, whether that be, for me, it's cleaning, although it used to be drinking, anything to get me out of where I was feeling. So here is my insights. I was in a relationship, and it was the best relationship that I had been in up until that point. Madly in love, we was going to get married, everything was probably about as good as it could possibly get. And then the relationship seemed to, from my point of view, just suddenly it ended. He didn't know how he felt about me, and it ended. And when it ended, my everything that I knew, everything that was solid, all went out from underneath my feet. So not only did I lose him, I lost the home that I shared with him, the 3 children that he had, so my stepchildren, a whole family, a whole life that I had planned out in my head was all gone and done. And ultimately what this led to was basically PTSD. I was traumatized by the event. What happened was then a series of thoughts, of thinking back to other relationships that had also gone wrong. And the meaning that I gave it was that it was my fault. I was responsible. I did or didn't do something. I did or didn't say the right thing. I didn't make him feel loved enough. I didn't make him feel secure enough. It was basically, it was all my fault. It was all my doing. And I blamed myself, and was left actually with not really knowing what I could have done different, because the relationship previous to that, I done things a certain way, and then with this one I did them a completely different way and still ended up with the same result. I then came to the conclusion that basically I didn't deserve it. For whatever the reason, God, the universe, some higher power deemed that I'm not deserving. I'm not worthy of this. And I then went through the next 12 years of drinking too much, taking drugs, burying myself in work, and basically doing anything to not look at these feelings, these emotions of not being good enough, of it all being my fault. At the moment, my son is currently in his 2nd episode of psychosis. His first episode, the event that was going on at the time, was he believed that he was going to be homeless and he didn't think he belonged where he was. He was in Australia, he was on the other side of the world. And this time, whilst quite different, he's now just bought his own house. And in his mind, he is a bad person. And I think he's questioning, he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve this house. So he's finally got the peace and the stability and the home that he wanted. And that has caused a traumatic response to it. quite often what happens when various different things happen throughout our life, it's the meaning that we give to it, and also, which is a real key part of it, is a belief about who we think we are. And if you have a feeling of not being good enough, which I use that one just because that was mine, then ultimately I interpreted the world. Everything I saw and everything I heard was all just confirming the belief that I had in myself. And I truly do believe that this is where mental health actually comes in, because people have a certain way of looking at themselves. I can't be the only one. It can't just be me and my son. And I know there are thousands of people, millions throughout the world that have also suffered with their own mental health. So why is this? So do believe that, yes, there are events that may have happened, and the events have almost proven the core belief that's going on underneath, that core identity on who that person believes that they are. And the event is actually only exacerbating it, is proving that that is true. And if that is true, then that will then lead to feelings of guilt, of shame. And even though there'll be a desire for something different, however, to actually go for that is almost impossible. You're fighting against this core identity. I'm not good enough. So if I'm not good enough, how on earth can I possibly have that? The reason why I'm sharing that is ultimately, if you are suffering with your mental health, is to sit down and actually ask yourself, who is it that you believe that you are? Do you also, like me, believe that you're not enough? Maybe you think that you're broken because you've gone through mental health. That then, right, well, there's something fundamentally wrong with you. I'm here to tell you there most certainly is nothing wrong with you. It is, a lot of it is to do with our minds and how our minds work, and also the beliefs of our parents, teachers, other adults that were influential on us whilst growing up, and even going into young adulthood, that will have shaped our view of ourselves. What I do know is that any view that is negative like that, that is debilitating, that keeps you stuck, is not true. It is not true. Now, I only actually got to this stage by actually working with someone that then shone the light, if you like, on how it was that I was seeing myself. And once I could actually see that that was how I identified, I was then able to actually question that and then make the shift out of that identity into somebody that actually is enough. No matter what she has, no matter what she does, she is enough. And I can assure you that no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, no matter what you do or don't have in your life, you are enough too. And I hope that you can believe that yourself, because quite often the more that we're down this spiral, the harder it is to actually believe what other people say, especially when it's complimentary. I am here to offer you, if you would like to actually explore this yourself, and perhaps just like I did, get some insights into who it is that you're identifying as, so that you too can start making the shift into who you really are, who you always were since birth. If you would like to explore that, then I do offer three free sessions for us to actually work out where you are now, what those desires you might be having for your life, where you would like to go if you only believe that you was able to have them, and see if we can make some small shifts or some really big shifts that will actually take you in that direction, because you do deserve to have those things.